quite good stuff. And somewhere, well, as I have been known to say, those last 3 brain cells left in there tend to forget to talk to each other once in a while. Other than that, I don't have a thing to say. We're at 75, not too bad a degrees. Alright, I got to come on down, and we're all touching. Alright, I got you check it out, and now I'm going to right over. AK7 wide. Sometime in the break here. Otherwise, let's proceed here. If anybody else would like to join us, one more call time maybe. get a amateur stuff. This little list. Robert, 87, JXM. And Robert, the next question today is, what is a fun fact about yourself that you'd like to share with me?
Yeah. Hey, this is E-Man, CK7QLW returning. I think we had an interesting thing happen there. During your report, Robert, I heard your whole report, but the website stopped showing the All-Star traffic, and I think I heard Doug at some point in the middle of your report, before you dropped and came back, asking if anybody was still here. And I saw it live for 2 years, and then when you dropped and came back, it came back on All-Star. So I think our repeater maybe lost contact with the All-Star node for a minute. But, honestly, I wasn't taking the best notes for your report, but I hope you have a grand time out there. And to reiterate for Robert, if anybody's feeling like heading out to Arlington today, Robert and Tammy would appreciate some help with the move. I'm sure you can get a hold of them, through the normal means, the D.R.G repeater, maybe the next net comes in on D.R.G. But, Robert, how would you prefer if somebody wanted to come up and help you out today? How should they get a hold of you? Come on back.
Anything works. Smoke signals, just stopping by. If they've got carrier pigeon, text, email, APRS mail. I guess APRS should still work. My phone's still active. Any way they want to get a hold of us would be greatly appreciated. Our emails are active. Our call signs, but don't send Kimmy an email because she never checked KJ7JXM at the good old Google Mails. If you've got my cell phone number, feel free to give me a call. If you don't have it, feel free to email me. I'll give it to you, or give you the address. Whatever works. I'm happy to do anything I can to help anybody find their way out here. Thanks for that, man. Really.
All right, this is KK7QLW returning, and of course, you're welcome, Robert. Thank you for all that you do, my friend. Up next, we have KJ7RAD Cammy. Come on in with your report.
This is Mike 7 Charlie Sierra. We'll just make the CQ Northwest listeners aware that there's currently a net bite up, and we don't know what's actually happening. I know CQ Northwest links up for the Wales Ragchew Net. Unfortunately, there seems to be another net going on. So if a moderator can disconnect the link, and hopefully we can. So what I'm going to, I'm not getting in obviously because it looks like we're being held up by the other traffic. That's traffic after this, if they're hearing me, and then hopefully we'll be able to connect.
Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, you got through to me, Chris. Okay, over.
The Lake Washington Ham. Somebody has.
Yeah, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, you got through to me. All right, Chris. It was all okay. Day on. Over.
It's looping because there's traffic coming from the CQ Northwest, traffic coming from us. I'm directly now on the XLX server, so anyone on the XLX server should be hearing me. As well, I can see I'm going out through WiresX now. We might have it disconnected, of course, there just might not be any live stream audio, but it sounds like I'm coming out of there as well. So it looks like an admin from CQ Northwest must have heard me. So we will commence the Wales Ragchew Net. So we're chucking into log mode. We'll look at who was in last week. So here's a quick who was in last week. Well, that was a bit too quick, but yeah, a quick who was in last week. So we'll do that. That enables me to get to the bottom of the list, and then, of course, yeah, I can pretty much try, but normally I do it with, I'm doing it with the wrong mouse, but I can still hear myself dropping, unfortunately, but I don't think I am dropping. So what I'm going to do is I am going to clear the contents on the log, so that's now done, and I'm going to put Monty in first, so we'll do that because I heard him, 2W1TER. So if you'd like to be number 2 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
United States of America, checking into the Wales Ragchew Net. Sorry.
Yeah, thanks very much there, Michael. Got you, not a problem, into the Wales Ragchew Net. Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa. If you'd like to be number 3 in the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
G0EUZ, Rod in Cambridge.
Yep, thanks very much there, Rod. G0EUZ. If you'd like to be number 4 into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location.
GW5VOG, Steve in Penarth, South Wales. Good evening, everyone. Back to you, Chris.
Okay, I have GW5VOG. I also saw a key up from M6DQB, Pablo. So, yep, I'll get you logged in there, as well as a number 5. So, we'll get things moving because we had a bit of a harsh start there. And we're going out on repeaters. We're going out on Golf Bravo 3 Mike Golf in Pontypryd. We're also going out on GW import. If you'd like what I'm going to do, I'll put it straight up to Twitter, 2W1TER.
Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo. Where's Pontypryd then? I've never heard of that place before. Pontypryd. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know what was going on. There seemed to be another net on. And it got very confusing at the start there. Oh, good dog. They seem to have buggered off now. And yeah, I was here last week, but I couldn't get through for some reason. Everything seemed to be playing up. I kept shouting in and nobody could hear me. But I got here first this week. So, yeah. And I hope everybody liked my song about the 10mm spanner. 2 Whiskey 1, Tango Echo Romeo, back to control.
Like 7, 3 Charlie Sierra. Well, yep, thanks very much there, Monty. I wondered what was going on. Of course, yep, I had the music. Now I could hear there was chat going on. I turned up the radio, and all of a sudden I'm like, there's an American net going on. And yeah, the gaps were dire. So yeah, couldn't get into them. But the one way I could make myself heard is by going in via WiresX, and then, of course, yeah, it came out across our system. It got 8 people on our system. As for them to disconnect it, it's disconnected. There's still something not quite right, because, yeah, I keep dropping, but I don't normally. But, yeah, that's all good. So we go over to Michael, who's over on CqNorthwest, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Thanks, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. The first thought that went through my mind was that the time had already changed there, and I was in the middle of your net. But because I recognized the call sign, I think, of one of the gentlemen was talking. But didn't go back and forth. So we're in Lebanon, Tennessee, United States of America, where it's about 18 degrees here. From a little chilly. We've had a few drops of rain today. A few thick clouds have come by, which is vastly different from the last 26 days when we've been very dry and things have been kind of crispy here. Both the grass and the leaves did not really change so much as they just dried and fell off. It's going to be hopefully a good day today. Sounds like the net is already kicking off with a different kind of way. And I'll turn it back to you and we'll get started. I sent you some pictures of food porn for this week. And so if you get a chance, you can look at that on Messenger. And I will turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, your food porn, it actually went up in the title music. Yeah, with all the confusion, I've now lost it. But I'm sure I'll be able to find it pretty quickly. Because obviously, yeah, you sent it me. I forwarded it on to somewhere else, to the Ragchew account, as it's called in the Messenger. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load. But yeah, nothing never loads quick enough, does it, when you want it to? Yeah, we'll sort that out. And before I end this over, yeah, we should get some food porn up on the live stream. Michael's food porn. So I'll click it up there, and I'll make that full screen, and I will present the screen, and we can see Michael's food porn now. Of course, I've got to remember to click the right way. So it is that way, Michael's food porn. So he will tell us what that lovely...
G0, good evening, everybody. Nice to hear you all on. Yeah, it's not been a bad day here. It's been a little bit chilly, but not bad. We have had some rain, but it didn't catch me out when I went with the dog in the morning. And his brother came down for a play, so I didn't have to take him out in the evening. And then I've just had him out for a quick one at the corner of the street, and it didn't rain then either. So yeah, a good day altogether. Not done a great deal of radio, unfortunately. This week I've been busy with other things, but more of that later. Back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0EZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. I try straight through WiresX. So, of course, yeah, I've noticed it being a little clunky, but I think it just might have been the WiresX system was a little bit confused because we had all that traffic going through me. M7EMH was trying to break in as well. Yeah, we've probably not it yet. Yeah, it's just being a slightly clunky. Through. Yeah, I'll just ignore that dashboard. So, GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Thank you, Chris. Good evening, everyone. We got Monty, Michael, Rod, and Pablo. Good evening. Yeah, I've not done a lot of radio this week. Just a few bits of FT8. The weather here has been very nice today. No rain at all. Full sun all day. Done some gardening, putting away garden furniture for the winter. Scraping leaves off the lawn. Sweeping up leaves in the front drive and all that sort of thing. So getting ready for the winter, really. And this afternoon we went for a very, very nice walk. half marina, which looked really, really nice. So we enjoyed that, and yeah, watching the boats and looking at all the rich people's yachts tied up in the marina that never move anywhere. So they spend all that money and never actually take them out. There we go. That's how it goes. So back to you, M7CCS from GW5VOG, over to Chris.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. I just left a deliberate long gap there, and hopefully that might sort things out there. Yeah, I was just watching the WiresX side, and it was clunking, and same as my audio was clunking going in and out. And I think, yeah, all that confusion at the beginning, I think, yeah, all the systems, they got a tiny little bit confused. Yeah, that might be what it was. What we'll do now, M6DQB is only listening, so it is time to go back to the log screen and see if we can get some more check-ins. So, if anybody else would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location. Okay, nothing heard there, but yeah, I can see plenty of personal nodes in there, as well as the gateways. Yeah, it's all good. Everyone's probably checking their radios going, what was going on? Why is it so clunky? And then it's all evened out high. What we do is we go back up to the top of the list, and yep, I did see your 10mm spanner today, and we did talk in the week about your 10mm spanner song. So we go over to 2W1TER.
You want Tango Echo Romeo? Just microwaving some food. I'm having bourbon pulled beef with creamy mash, Tesco's finest. And to be honest, if that's their finest, I'd hate to see their worst. Those meals used to be good. Not so fun anymore. But the Scooby snacks, I can't be arsed cooking. I went shopping, that was bad enough. I hate shopping. The people, the traffic, the expense. I can't believe how much it cost today. But they seem to be not so much on the shelves as they used to be. It's getting more and more looking like a Russian supermarket during the USSR days. In Tesco's, there's people queuing up for beetroot. Well, rumour of a beetroot. No one's actually seen the beetroot, but there was a queue round the corner. But there you go. Back to the good old days of the 70s, eh? We're all living off candles next. But there you go. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. So if I'm in and out, excuse me. But yeah, the old 10mm spanner song. Yeah, it was a bit of fun. I was bored. Somebody mentioned it. I thought, yeah, I'll make a song out of that. I did want it to be a bit more jovial, but yeah, you've got to be careful what wording you use on these things, because otherwise they just get thrown off. And at the moment, I'm printing a Wurlitzer jukebox to put my Amazon Echo in, so it looks a bit better than just a grey. Yay! Time out. Right, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo, we're handing it back to control.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, City. He's trying to put a wake-up signal through to hopefully stabilise everything. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm 10 seconds in and I haven't seen a drop, so that's done it, City. Oh, no, I spoke too soon. So yeah, it just dropped then. But I think I'm going out across the board. I think if anyone can give me audio reports, whether I am actually dropping to them or not, or whether it is just, yeah, the WiresX being slightly clunky. So I am running a lot of stuff on this computer at the minute. So I'll go over to Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Well, thanks, Chris. It's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, and I'm reading you just fine. Your audio is fantastic going this way. Haven't heard anything wrong with it at all. So I know you're at least getting out across the world to the United States. Real quick update, I want to welcome, good to hear Rod and Steven. I want to give a quick update on my wife. She had an interview with a surgeon here not long ago. They wanted to do what they call a TIPS procedure, whereby they would bypass her liver. But that was he determined that it was going to be too much stress on her body, so he ruled out that surgery, which means that takes her another step closer to having a liver transplant. So we're anxiously awaiting that. It's a long, drawn-out procedure, but we're hoping that now that she's skipped that particular step, we're on to the next level. And we are hearing from the liver transplant team as they're putting it together. So we're hopefully going to get that done soon. And the other piece of good news is her rheumatologist, because she has rheumatoid arthritis, told her that the drugs that they will end up giving her for anti-rejection on her liver will more than likely help her with the rheumatoid arthritis. It would eliminate probably most of their symptoms, if not all of them. So we could get a good piece of good news. We're still struggling along and letting it go as it comes. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Again, you're sounding great, and we're going to welcome everybody to the net. Good to hear from everybody. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I've been playing around. That's the problem, I think. I've been playing around. And, yeah, normally, my WH scheduler for my WiresX, it reboots it in the morning. And, of course, yeah, didn't have it. So I disconnected from W.D.R.G, so people may have seen the WiresX disappear from the live stream. And when I did, it said WiresX not responding. It seems to have come back. It's saying, yeah, this server response timeout disconnected now. So, yeah, maybe an issue my end with my gateway there. But it's all good. I'll get it back up and running. So, we will now go to GW5, VOG.
You caught me off guard there, Chris, because I think it should have been Rod next. Never mind, sorry, Rod, I pushed you out. Yeah, so I haven't heard Monty's song. I haven't actually. I was in a bit of a rush getting up here to do this tonight, so I didn't bring my tablet with me. So I can't easily look at Facebook at the moment. I assume it was on Facebook. I shall have that pleasure after the net. I'll have a listen to your 10mm spanner song. We had a sister Anna who had a 10mm spanner. There we are. Yeah, Michael, great to hear that news. Let's hope that comes soon. I know it's but let's hope you have some good news soon. Yeah, well, sounds like not just liver problem will be sorted out a bit by the transplant. That's good. Right, so I think I'll pass back to you, Chris, and then we can get Rod in, who we missed out. So M7CCS from GW. As you're coming through lovely to me now. I'm on CQ Northwest. So back to you, Chris.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. The screens I got in front of me, yeah, I'm fully aware where you're coming from. And of course, yeah, I know you're coming through CQ Northwest. It was dropping a little bit for me. It actually was dropping a little bit for me, the CQ Northwest. And I've actually, if I actually press this button here on this monitor, you'll all hear all this echoey. And of course, yeah, I'm monitoring the CQ Northwest audio because that's what puts the live stream out. And I could keep hearing it going beep, beep, beep as you were talking. So yeah, something's a bit clicky there, and yeah, maybe there's a little bit of something needing doing over that side as well. But I'm now using my FTM 200. I'm going into MB6CS, and yeah, I'm not dropping. So yeah, I just needed to restart that WiresX, didn't I? And of course, yeah, that's the thing when you take a rule out of the computer. And you delete all the rules and think, it's alright, I'll put it back later, and then forget to put it back. And yeah, that rule just to reboot my WiresX software every day. Yeah, it affected it by the looks of it. So yeah, it's all good. So I better put it back to Rod G0EZ. Sorry I skipped over you, but yeah, from playing around with all the fusion bits, yeah, in that confusion, that's what happened. Over to you there, Rod G0EZ.
E0EZ, back to the group. Yeah, no problem, Michael, and thanks, Steve. Yeah, you've been fine to me right from the, well, not quite right from the beginning. The first couple of overs in the beginning was bad with dropouts, but ever since then you've been fine, Michael, Chris, so no problem at all. And Michael, yeah, give our best wishes to Kathy. It's a long wait, and yeah, but if you can see a light at the end of the tunnel, you've got a good chance, haven't you? And let's hope it all goes to plan and happens soon. So my end, you know, you probably remember from last week that I've been umming and ahhing whether to sell my Yaesu FT818. And I've decided to keep it. So to that end, I started to build a small amplifier kit that I bought ages ago for the 818. But unfortunately, the first test point, it failed. I hadn't put anything on the board apart from the switching relay, so it wasn't switching. Anyway, it turns out I'd put the positive and negative on, so I've blown it. So that made me decide the 818's going, and it's on eBay now, and I've got one bid on it so far, so that's a good sign. And yeah, it can go. And I'll think of something else. I mean, the FT450 is a little bit bigger, but obviously it's got a built-in ATU and it's got 100 watts as well. So the only problem is it's not very happy working on the battery, but there you go. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0EZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, having a little chuckle to myself. But yeah, you know you get one of those comments, and of course it's full blown in the description, says it's a digital net, and it says all the ways in, and it gives all the websites for the appropriate links and everything else, and someone goes and puts on there what frequency is it, and yeah, that old joke. But yeah, it was all that old joke. But of course, yeah, we ignore those, don't we? So yeah, it's all good. So what what we're going to do now is we are going to go back into log mode, so I can control it again. And we are going to see if we can get any more check-ins. What we'll do is we'll give an over with the check-in. Keep things moving a little bit faster there. Of course, yeah, there are repeat. Well, yeah, there are repeaters on. Somebody switched the WW off, but it'll be back in 15 minutes. So if you'd like to check into the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard. Nice gap left there, but nice small group there. And yeah, well, someone, a wise person, I think an American in this group, once told me, it's the quality, not the quantity. So we go up to the top of the list and we go to 2W1 TER.
Yeah, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. We've given a nice big pause there, but nothing came through. Yeah, the song's on the Ragchew website on the Facebook. Well, it's nothing special. Don't go digging around trying to find it if you don't want to. It's just a bit of fun. Using a bit of an AI thing. Nothing special. Just a bit of a laugh, because it seems to be a bit of a running joke. But there you go. Yeah, good luck with the hospital transplant and all the medical stuff. I know what that's like, going through all that serious rubbish. I had my operation cancelled because of blood clots, so yeah, I'm struggling a bit. But there you go. Got to keep your old pecker up, haven't you? And keep going forward. That's all you can do. But at least I won't have the worries like you do in America of paying for it. But that's one good thing I don't have to worry about. But yeah, good luck with all that and stuff. And if you want a really nice radio that's going to hit the, and you don't need an amplifier for, I've got a Yaesu 101 HP for sale. A lot of money, but my God, it's a lot of radio. You won't need to worry about building amplifiers. It does 200 watts. And that's plenty for anybody, unless you're Italian. But yeah, play around with stuff. I might have an 891 for sale as well. But that's a nice little radio. I've been selling that, but it's got a head unit and everything for the vehicle. But yeah, what a nice little unit that is. But these things have got to go. And I've got a couple of tuners for sale. But yeah, I'll get round to eBay and that.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, you just like getting that time out, don't you? You like the noise it makes, I reckon. But yeah, it's all good there. And trying to find that copyright free, that was hard task, but I did. So yeah, it's all good. You have to name all the sources in YouTube that you use. So yeah, it's all good. But right, we will go round to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. I was presenting the screen because, of course, there is Montes. Where's my... yeah, we can say that is in the Bible, bloody spanner. And so, of course, yeah, he's put the link there. What I'm going to do is, whilst we're live, you can see me do it. So we're going to copy that link. And yeah, we're going to bring this down. And, of course, over here I've got the chat. So I'll put it over into the chat.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. And I saw the pop-up on your screen about the time change, and I was wondering, when does your time change? I know it's a different weekend from ours usually, and but ours is next Saturday. Well, Saturday, it's actually Sunday morning at 2 o'clock in the morning next weekend. So I was wondering when you're going to change yours. I think before it was either the weekend after or the weekend before ours, but I didn't want to mess up the net next week and come in at the wrong time and be looking for people, or the net have already been started and going for a while. So I'll turn that back to you, and you can inform the rest of us out here that aren't in the know and are still in the dark. Because I just found out this morning ours changed next week. That's how far in the dark I was. I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. So I'll change at 2 a.m. tomorrow. So it's 2 a.m. tomorrow. So, of course, yeah, everything, that transition, because your clocks then change as well. Australia's are already done. They were a couple of weeks ago. Then there's us. Why can't we just stay on one time? Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's the way it is. They were on about abolishing it at one point, but then it never really got to it. I think it's because of some parts of the UK. Yeah, if we stayed on the same time through the winter, it wouldn't get light till after about 10 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning, maybe. So that I think that's one of the reasons for it. So we go around to Rod, G0, EUZ.
G0, EUZ, back to the group. Yeah. Extra hour in bed tomorrow, but I bet I don't sleep for that extra hour. And I'm up at the same time. Or the same length of time in bed, so yeah, never mind. It'll just mean that the dog gets his breakfast a little bit early. Other than he thinks, obviously he's going to have to change his clock time as well. I must admit he's very good with it. You see, he knows exactly when various food times are. And now that his brother's coming around for a play every night at between 4:30 and 5 o'clock, he's ready for it. He knows the time. Weird. I don't know how they do it, but maybe he can read the clock. So yeah. So what else was there? Yes, Monty. Yeah, the 101. It's a lovely rig. And yeah, I don't think I'd like one. No, I'm telling lies. I would like one. I wouldn't like to pay for one. That's the difference. So, with the use I have of radios and what have you, it's no point me buying anything else. I need to cut back. I mean, my 3000 DAF TDX 3000, that does a lovely job. And I chose it very carefully at the time. And I like it. And I do have an amplifier, a 600 watt amplifier, but I haven't used that in ages. In fact, I could do with switching it on and warming it up just to see if the caps go. So there we go. Back to you, Chris. M7CCS, G0, use it.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, problem when you're reading messages at the same time. Yeah, communicating with Tess, who looks after the WW repeater, and the linkage there, and of course, yeah, there was a bit of a problem. I think he pulled it out, but of course, yep, he said, but I've got one back. We're offline at the moment. Thought it was a problem here. Haha. So yeah, I'm not sure on that one. Yeah, maybe it just needs to go back in here, all be good. But it set as a return. But yeah, I get what it was. So yeah, we're offline. So he started seeing if there were problems his end. But of course, yeah, it wasn't. It was just a massive across the block. It was all that confusion at the beginning, and just a way of trying to get in and actually say, there's a net here. And on CQ Northwest, well, I know that Michael is on there, and anyone connected on there. There are announcements that go out to say, you know, we will connect with the Wales Ragchew Net at 20 past. But they're few and they're pretty much like every hour or then every half hour. But what it actually needs is it needs one quite literally just after it's linked over as well. So it doesn't matter if it comes from our network as well. But just after it's linked as well. And then everybody across the board knows CQ Northwest is linked and there's going to be a net. But it happened a few times now. And yeah, we advertise on CQ Northwest Facebook as well. But it's all good. You know, just little technical issues and teething problems. And it happens when people link things into the net. So that is the most important thing. It's linked into the network. So of course, yeah, everybody that has actually come to the net has chosen to link into the network, to be honest. So that's the way it is. And of course, like I said, we'll say a hi to GB3MG repeater. And of course, yeah, I think Monty picked me up on it, but PONTYPRIDD, yeah, I can't pronounce it, but yeah, it's in the right place. Over in the Rhondda, that's the easiest way, near the Rhondda. But yeah, part of the Bristol Channel repeater group, I do believe. Maybe Neil is on the side, he might check in the next round, and of course, yeah, we'll be able to get some information on that. Of course, we've got all the other gateways. There's my timing. So we better put it right now to GW5VOG.
GW5VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Yeah, your system's so amazing and complicated that stuff's bound to go wrong every now and again. I don't think those two Americans, or maybe three, they were connected to CQ Northwest. I just don't get that impression that they were deliberately connecting into a net in the UK. I think there was just obviously some somewhere. But there we go. Yeah, coming back to, I was saying your audio's great, which it still is. Perfect. You were dropping out with me at the beginning quite badly in the first couple of overs, like about 3 times in each over. But I understood everything you were saying, which was mostly, help, what's going on? So, yeah, the clocks changed to night, don't they, which is good, because we do get an extra hour in bed. Slight minor problem of adjusting your eating times, I think, is the most complicated thing. Because you know, like, when I have to go out, say on Tuesday, to someone up at 7:30, so I have to eat at 7 o'clock, but, you know, I'll be probably not hungry then, if you know what I mean, maybe. So it's that kind of thing, and it takes about a week, I think, to get used to it. The area in Britain that you were referring to that would be badly affected if we didn't have whatever we have is Scotland, I think. Now, the answer to that is, and the people in Scotland are quite willing to do this, in fact, they quite like it, is that Scotland has its own time zone. But the UK government aren't keen on anything that makes Scotland separate from England, so they kind of won't. But I don't see why they couldn't. Yeah, I think we should go on Central European time, maybe. I know we are a bit further west, but not really further west than France. We're on the same time zone as Ireland and Portugal, I think, which are the most... So there we are. Okay, with that, back to you, Chris M7CCS from GW. Ooh, time out. Over to you, Chris.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Wow, GW5VOG. You can't hide behind it that you just timed out there, but of course, yeah, not your call sign, it's the link call sign for CQ Northwest, isn't it? Yeah, GB3WW is back with us now. Kev thought it was a problem his end, but no, it was just a problem, but it was very quickly sorted. Yeah, back on the DMR, and all good at the minute. I'm heading to, well, I was going to head towards the door, but it is check-in time. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if anybody would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. We'll also give a shout out to GB3LZ, careful how I say this, in Winkley, Mid-Devon. So, if you'd like to check in, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over.
N6 UTC.
N6 UTC, way too quick for me. I didn't even get the mouse turned on. Yeah, N6 UTC. And then I just realised that I've got, a number lock on, a shift key down. Oh, it's all great, and it's going well here, isn't it? Of course, yeah, I just need to open up that window which lets me interact with this log. So there it is. Right, so, yeah, N6 UTC, and we've got you in there. So, yeah, do you want to continue with your over there, Ender?
Yeah, hi Chris and everybody else. This is pretty much going to be a single over, possibly. Me and the missus are kind of preparing for the trip on Monday. We're heading over to your neck of the woods. Well, not necessarily Gloucester, but we're heading to North Yorkshire, staying 4 days in Whitby, and then we'll be driving across the border into North Wales, where I'll spend the rest of the time, what, 5-6 days maybe, in Penrhyn Deirdre, my hometown. Flying out Monday. So I'll be over there working in Yorkshire as Mike Echo 1, Bravo Quebec Oscar, because I do like the secondary regional locator. And then I'll be Mike Whiskey 1, obviously, when I'm in Wales. So that's what's going on here. Just kind of doing stuff around the house and kind of getting ready, because we've got somebody coming over to look after the dogs. So we're just starting to prepare. Back to you, Chris, and 6 UTC.
Like 7, Charlie Sierra, not a problem there, and yeah, well, you're certainly picking up the air miles, aren't you? Between, over the last couple of years, and of course, this year you're picking up the air miles, because you came over for Blackpool, you came over just before Blackpool, sometime before Blackpool, and you're back over again. Yeah, it's all good there. So, what we're going to do, we're going to see if anybody else is there and would like to check in. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard. So, well, of course, a lot of people probably hearing us peeping out of the repeaters and everything. And of course, yeah, nobody really wants to be the first to key up, do they? Not always. But of course, yeah, some people, as we know, and as we know some people that are on this net now, sometimes they listen for a little bit, and we've heard it before, and then they'll come in and join. So yeah, we just all need to actually, reassure everybody, that none of us bite. Hi. And yeah, we're here to basically to create activity. So what we do, we go back up to the top of the list, and yeah, Monty might bite if you take his 10mm spanner. TW1 CER, over to you there, Monty.
Yeah, 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo. Yeah, I definitely bite, especially on request. But that's another story. Oh, creaky plastic stuff. Yeah, I just made this little jukebox that goes around my Amazon Echo, and I'm just clicking it all together. I love 3D printing. Just makes things so much easier. Just see something, print it, you got it. It's just nice to have like your own little factory. Made some stuff for the motorbike the other day as well. That came out nice. It's just good. Little things like I needed some brake hose clips. Oh, right. Well, I could go on eBay and buy them for £7 or £8 each, or I could print them out for I think it was 3 pence for about 10 of them. And I only ended up using 2, but yeah, fantastic. I love all this technology and stuff. Having a replicator in your own spare room. We live in marvellous times. So a little bit of super glue and everything will be done. But yeah, it's all good. Anyway, I'm dithering. 2 Whiskey 1 Tango Echo Romeo back to control.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yep, you're not dithering there. I was experiencing deja vu, but you didn't mention the brake switch. But yeah, it's all good there. So yeah, we spoke about that earlier in the week. But yeah, that was cool. So we'll go around to Michael now. Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa. Figure we might as well get the food porn section of the show out of the way. Last weekend, my wife had picked up some jumbo shrimp. She shelled them, and she seasoned them with a little bit of spice, and then she smoked them on our smoker. We had them that night with some queso dip, tortilla chips, and some salsa. Very good, very tasty. Then the next night, she took those same shrimp that we had left over, and she made some cheesy grits, and she put the shrimp in the cheesy grits. She didn't like that I waited till after I started eating before I took the picture, because she did the shrimp weren't sitting on the top like she likes to see it. And then Tuesday night of this week, my kids came over, my son and his wife, and my wife, and my daughter-in-law, had made a lasagna, a pan of lasagna for her. That's the other picture that's in there, is that lasagna. And let me tell you, that was probably one of the best lasagnas I've ever tasted. She did an excellent job on that lasagna. Like I said, one of the best ones, and I've ate quite a bit of lasagna in my lifetime, but that was probably right in the top 4 or 5 of lasagnas that I've ever had. Tonight we're having cabbage and ground beef soup. I'm looking forward to that already. It's getting into the soup, chili stuff of the seasons, and those are always good for warm the body and the soul. Well, then I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, I get confused on the days of when we have food. But I do know yesterday we had a lovely homemade lasagna that Donna made. So we had that. So that was nice. Today we had a mini beef roast dinner. So that was nice. We're actually going out tomorrow. So of course, yeah, we've had it today there. Of course, all the spring clean has been done. Believe it or not, yeah, I cleaned and dusted my shack, and yeah, I moved on and done the rest of the living room. Cleaned and dusted that, and of course done the hoovering. So they've done that to help out. It's always good to help out. And of course, yeah, one of our Australian friends this morning, when I said that I was going to help out, he said, "Oh, you after a new radio?" But no, it's not about that. It's about picking up the weight, working as a team, isn't it? So of course, there's that. Oh, we had Cumberland sausage as well. We had Cumberland sausage with mash. I remember that because I made it. And Joshua bought it. And of course, yeah, we had 2 trips to Cumbria, the Lake District, this week. We went up and drove up there and came back. And then we went back up again on Thursday. No, Wednesday even, stayed over the night and then drove back on Thursday morning. So, right, what we do now, we go round to Rod G0 EUZ, and yeah, we went through your land, and there's a lot of Northwest Fusion repeaters, isn't there? Over to you there, Rod.
G0 EUZ, back to the group. Yeah. I mean, it's all Northwest Fusion, isn't it? But it must be actually pretty good. I wish I still live there, really. Well, yeah, I can get into it if I want to, anyway. I just don't do it anymore. I don't know why. I just I went in for a while and then just stopped. I don't know why. So anyway, Freeport. Well, predictably, I've had the barbecue ribs again today, but I had southern fried wedges, potato wedges, instead of fries. And the ribs were slightly different because they were sweet, Chinese sweet. So yeah, very nice. And sticky toffee pudding afterwards. Chalkboard, not homemade. So yeah, enjoyed that. But I got called away after my last over and had to sort something out with XYL's TV. So that's all sorted. Oh, I hope it's sorted. Otherwise it would be a miserable night for me. So what else was there? I can't remember now. No, I can't remember what else came up, to be honest. I was listening. I did have the radio, but I struggle to do 2 things at once anymore. So back to you, Chris. M7CCS G0 EUZ.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and there I am. I'm displaying a little bit about the repeater that is connected in there, the GB, I've got to find it now, GB3LZ. So, of course, yeah, we put a little bit of that in, and it's all good. So you get to see some of these gateways that are connected to us, how they're running, same as mine, FCM 100. I can see on the bench there. So, of course, and they give all the credits there. So, yeah, that's that one. We've now actually given it its free little bit of advertisement, and it's in on the Ragchew Net. So, if you're watching the live stream and you're in range of this repeater, give it a blast there. So, what we're going to do now is...
Good evening to Endav. I think you might have gone now, though. But if you're listening, good evening. That's great. You're coming over to the UK again, and I think you said you're going to Whitby first of all. So I suspect that's for Halloween, is it? Because Whitby, of course, is famous for spooky things. It's where Dracula washed up when his boat was shipwrecked in the original story. So the abbey, the ruined abbey there, is a centre for goths and people like that who like to dress up in that sort of costume. And Yeah, so, and have a good time there, and in North Wales, you'll be able to go and see Simon, won't you? Yeah, we were talking about amplifiers. I've already mentioned this, I think, a couple of times. I bought an amplifier from my radio club. It's a linear amps Ranger 811. I think it does about 700-800 watts. Haven't even turned it on yet, so how about that? I just, it was available to buy at a very, very good price, so I couldn't resist. Had to sweet talk the wife for quite a few days to get that. Anyway, yeah, so Tuesday night this week is, again, my local ones next year and see if anyone notices. And then I think it's the Tuesday after, November the 5th, of course, very important. Firework display in Penarth on my little radio in my little Ragnet uniform. So there we are. That's what I'll be doing on Bonfire Night. So that's you, Chris M7CCS from W.D.R.G.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, Bonfire Night, we'll probably be on the bed, cuddling the animals. Of course, yeah, you always get that odd one set off the fireworks beforehand. Of course, it happened was I was on the Ragchew Net last week, actually. The firework went off, didn't it? Of course, yeah, you do get people that will go and set them off. But of course, yeah, what's the point? Wait until the day. Yeah, light the skies up and let everybody light them up together. Hi. But, of course, yeah, you know, we celebrate that he was blowing up the Houses of Parliament, Guy Fawkes, but, yeah, it wasn't the Houses of Parliament then, it was a palace, wasn't it? But, you know, the only person who ever walked into that building and had good intentions, hi. Politics away from it, don't we? It's all good. We've done GW5VOG, so, yeah, we'll see if NDAF's still with us, N6 UTC.
N6 UTC returning. Yeah, I'm still here. I need to actually, after this, I need to head over to the, what we call here a thrift store, a charity shop, drop some stuff off. Steve's right. I was in Whitby last year for the Goth Festival, and we're going again this year. I like it up in Whitby. It's a really nice place. I like the fact that it's right there in the North Sea. I'm not a goth person myself. It's my wife. She's into that world. She enjoys that stuff. Not my cup of tea at all. So we're meeting up with some of her goth friends out there. I'm just too metal for goth. But, you know, let's just say I'll be wearing black and all my hair down, you know, representing the metal community. What am I talking about? So yeah, that's pretty much it here. So I will probably see you tomorrow, Chris, on the thing maybe. Thanks for picking me up, and see you all possibly not next week, maybe a couple weeks after that. N6 UTC.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, yep, not a problem there, NDAF, and yep, you might see me, you might not. We are going, well, depends if anyone's watching this, but yeah, we're going to do a surprise somewhere. We can't mention what it is, just in case. This goes on YouTube, doesn't it? Yeah, it's all good. Thanks very much there, NDAF. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give some more call-outs. So we're going to see if anybody is on the side of W.D.R.G. So if you would like to join the Wales Ragchew Net, go ahead with your course sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard there. So it is back to the top of the list. And of course, yeah, it's good to have all the gateways in. Of course, on the live stream, that purple bar that you see at the top is the WiresX bar for people that aren't familiar with that. And of course, it shows you every node that is linked in on there. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't have any calls that time. Of course, yeah, we have got another bit, which I can show if I present the screen, but it's probably a bit small for you guys. So I'm going to have to push it up a bit, and you can see me talking through there, and you can see our module D on XLX, and then this is everything linked in to module D, XLX. I'm scrolling down. So the Australians at the bottom, they're in bed. This Australian is in bed. This one's in bed. Of course, yeah, they have threatened that once they might set an alarm clock one day and check in. What I'm going to do now with Okay, Monty is indisposed. We'll give him a call on the next one. So back to Michael, Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Thanks, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, and we're not looking forward to trick or treat. That's the 31st, because my dog doesn't understand. There's two things she does not understand. Is why people keep ringing the doorbell, and why the time has changed and she gets fed at a different time. So that really confounds her, and doesn't make her too happy. But moving on from that, my brother-in-law falls under the category this week of you shouldn't be doing things, young things with an old body. Last Sunday afternoon, he crawled up on a ladder to get rid of a wasp nest that was in front of his camera on the outside of his house. He fell off that ladder, and he broke his leg. Unfortunately, it was the same leg that he broke the ankle on 12 years ago, and they had to put pins in it then, or screws, and he bent those screws, so those screws had to be taken back out and replaced, along with played in for the broken leg. So if you're a man in your 50s, try to do things a different way. Hire young men to do it for you. Don't crawl up on that ladder in the case you might fall off, because you don't bounce like you used to. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Thanks very much. So we go round to Rod now, G0, EUZ.
G0 EUZ, back to the group. Well, yeah, Michael, yeah, commiserations with your brother there. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I'm the world's worst of that. Even when I had bad knees, and I struggled to get up the ladder, I kept going up. And my wife would say, when I want something putting up, you can't climb up to do it. But if you need to do an aerial, you're straight up that ladder, like a rat up a chimney pipe, a drain pipe. But Yeah, I know what you mean. And you definitely don't bounce very well. But I got my grandson to do the ladder work so far this year, and he doesn't do a fantastic job, but he survived it. That's the main thing, which I wouldn't have. Yeah, good evening to Endorf, and yeah, I hope to catch you while you're over here. That'd be good. I don't know if you're planning on doing any radio. Well, you said you were going to, and with your ME and MW call, so yeah, we'll look out for you. So yeah, I don't think there was anything else I forgot there. Oh, Michael, I never got the reason you shot up to Cumbria, and in fact the fact that you did it twice. M7CCS G0, you said.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Well, the reason we went there and back, say this nicely, but yeah, basically Josh, he booked a holiday with his birthday money. Of course, someone said to him, Lake District's nice. Went on there, found a cottage, booked it. Yeah, then there was getting to it. And yeah, on the train it's a few changes and whatever. He'd probably have his headphones on. He wouldn't hear the announcements and whatever. So of course, yeah, we took him up there and we picked him up from there. So that was the reason for going to the Lake District in a nutshell. So it would have been 7 hours on the train apparently. And he couldn't do that with the dog. So, of course, we were able to stop and have breaks, and the dog could have breaks as well on the way. So, we're going to go round to GW5 VOG.
GW5 VOG returning. Yeah, I was wondering why you went up to Cumbria twice, and why not? Anyway, why shouldn't you? Yeah, so that was very kind of you. Taxiing all the way up there and all the way back several days later or a week later, was it? Whereabouts in Cumbria did you go to? I used to live in Manchester once, so when this was before there was a breathalyze, believe it or not. I had a Land Rover, and about 6 of us used to go in that, drive out somewhere in the country, get paralytic, including the driver, I think, and then drive home. And we used to occasionally go to Windermere, which is like the sort of nearest bit of the Lake District. Kendal, I think, is around there somewhere. And go to nice country pubs. I used to go up every year, about 5 or 6 years ago, to the Edinburgh Festival, and we always used to in either Penrith or by Carlisle, and we used to, when we were there overnight, we used to go to drive around Ullswater and see the nice pubs there in PONTYPRIDD and Glen Ridding, all very much damaged in a flood about 10 years ago. There was a medieval bridge in PONTYPRIDD that got washed away, and Glen Ridding got absolutely destroyed because it's at the bottom of the mountain. When we went there, they were just repairing it all. Anyway, Guy Fawkes, we're celebrating that he didn't blow the king, not that he did. So, because he didn't. And yeah, that's what we're supposed to be celebrating, and that's why we burn an effigy. Yeah, and it's still a royal palace, actually. The Palace of Westminster is still the Palace of Westminster, where Parliament is. It was sort of a Parliament in those days, but not an elected Parliament, obviously. They didn't bother with things like that in them days. Anyway, so yeah, it's the American election after November 5th and probably going on till Jan the 6th. Fireworks, definitely. Okay, so back to you, Chris, M7CCS from GW5EOG.
Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, keying up to finish the call sign. Michael don't do that, I finish it for him. Yeah, that does happen when you're over there, on that side of the system. And of course, yeah, you have to hold the mic in and, yeah, you don't let it go until you've absolutely finished your over, over that side. Yeah, it's all good. And, yeah, well, all I can tell you is Cumbria. The Lake District. I've not got the right sat nav, I don't think. I have got it on my phone. Yeah. So if I actually went back into the sat nav, it would probably give me some kind of address, and I can type it into the Googly. It's, well, we'll see. So yeah. Right. Mike India Lima Oscar Mike, Cumberland. That is where we went. It was a holiday cottage there near a bay, and of course the cottage looked right out onto the little boating bay. Yeah, that was Mike India Lima Oscar Mike, Cumberland. That was where we went. Right, we'll see if NAS still with us. N6 UTC.
After 6.
Anybody else is out there and would like to join in with the Wales Ragchew Net? I am looking at the time and God, it's escaped me. But we'll see if anyone else does want to join in with the Wales Ragchew Net. I know Simon, W.D.R.G was going to join in, then he got called out on call. Unfortunately. So, what we'll do is we will see if anybody else would like to check in to the Wales Ragchew Net. If you would, go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over.
Kilo Oscar 6 Golf Bravo Romeo from California, United States.
Yeah, for the Kilo station, it was nice and loud. It actually blew me out of my seat. To the fact that I didn't actually put the call sign in. So it's the Kilo station. If you could go again now via CQ Northwest.
Kilo Oscar 6 Golf Bravo Romeo. They in California, United States.
Okay, thank you very much. California, United States. Yeah, nice to have you in there. So I've now got it, Kilo Oscar 6 Golf Bravo Romeo, Great Britain. Yeah, that's all good. Of course, nice to have you on the Wales Ragchew Net. I'll let you have an over, and then we'll see if we've got anybody else. Back over to you there, Kilo Oscar 6 Golf Bravo Romeo.
Thank you so much. I'm just testing. First, I'm testing my PiStar, then I happened to choose this channel. I'm glad somebody's there. Very nice to talk to you. Back to you.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Yeah, nice to talk to you as well. And of course, yeah, that PONTYPRIDD is sounding good and connected over to on the CQ Northwest there as well. So I'm going to move it on now because we are in the Wales Ragchew Net that you come into. But good to test your system, and of course, sure everybody will give you an audio report as we go round. So is there anybody else on the side that would like to join in with the Wales Ragchew Net? Go ahead with your call sign, name and location, and an over. Okay, nothing heard there. So we will go up to Monty, 2W1, TER. Rain to you there. Okay, let's call it the dropout net. Hi. No Monty. So we go to Michael. He's always there. If he's not going to be there, he sends me a note. Hi. Over to you there. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Chris, it's Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa, and Rod and some of the others. I didn't understand the significance of the fireworks on November 5th. I had to go look that up after the last round because I didn't quite get it. I thought Stephen was making a reference to November 5th for here in the United States. That's the day we have our presidential elections. So, and there could be fireworks. I don't know. I don't want to get political about it, but there's a lot of angst over here in the United States over the presidential elections on the November 5th this year. But I had heard this story a couple of 3 years ago, and I had forgotten about it. So now I understand why you were having the fireworks over in London, especially there. And I saw some of the pictures of fireworks. It looks fantastic. So I just want to say I'm slow but sure catching up on some of the events that happen over across the pond in your neck of the woods. So I appreciate the information. And I'll turn it back to you, Chris. Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo India Papa.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. And yeah, that could cause fireworks. But of course, yeah. But of course, yeah. I think we hear more about it in our media than you do in your media. But of course, yeah, there is that, and of course, yeah, that all started. It all started before we had our elections. And of course, ours are over and done with. They've been in government for a while. They've took a few things away. But yeah, all I will say on that is, where is the wall? It never happened, did it? Hi. So, right, we go round to G0EZ, round to you there, Rod.
G0EZ, back to the group. Yes, good evening to Lai, I think it's pronounced, in California there. Nice to make your acquaintance. And yeah, you sounded very good, very loud. So no problem there. Yeah, Michael, yeah, we, when I was younger, we didn't do Halloween at all. It was, you know, it was something that we imported from America. And of course, we did a big thing on Bonfire Night on November the 5th. So that has actually reduced. There's not as much fireworks as there used to be. It's mostly organised firework displays now. Although you still get kids buy a bunch of firecrackers or whatever. But yeah, it used to be horrendous. And in fact, it was so bad, you know, with bonfires and fireworks, and we used to get a smog, you know, which is a thick fog you couldn't see through. And that's all it was. By morning, it had gone and it didn't come back again for another 12 months. So yeah, it was well known, and of course the youngsters used to, you know, spend a whole month collecting firewood to build a great big bonfire. Mostly from somebody else's bonfire that wasn't guarding it. So we've had a few accidents with those, haven't we? There we go. Yeah, Cumbria, very nice. And Millham in Cumbria, very nice place. I've not actually been, but I know where it is. We used to go up quite frequently, mostly this time of year, actually, for the autumn colours. We used to go to Bowness, which is near Windermere. And in fact, my daughter went in August. She hired a cottage in near Coniston, on Lake Coniston, so that was very nice. I should have been away this week. I don't know if you remember. I was going up to the Midlands in a lodge, but my son-in-law has prolapsed a disc and he's not able to travel at all. So he had a surgical intervention, you know, well, like an injection, on Thursday. So he's a little bit better, but he's still in shocking pain. So anyway, before I time out, back to you, Chris M7CCS T0 EUZ.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, thanks very much there, Rod. And, yeah, I do think we rag-chewed that much, but we've broken the computer on WW. But you shouldn't laugh about it, because the amount of money that's already just gone into it. Yeah, it seems that, yeah, the PC, it's given the ghost today. It's actually giving it the ghost in the middle of the net. But, of course, wow. Oh, there we go. There's a solution. I can still... So there is going to be a net on Sunday, tomorrow night, actually. But, of course, yeah, it will be at the 8 o'clock hour, so an hour ago from now. Of course, that's going to be hosted by Kev. Of course, it's basically a net for the gateway. But, of course, it's going to come out across all of our stuff. And, of course, all you guys can join in as well. So, I've got to look where I was. We spoke to Rod, so we go to GW5, VOG. That's the problem when you're reading messages and doing a net. Over to you there.
GW5 VOG returning to Lai. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. Perhaps if you're still on when we get around to you, can tell us how it should be pronounced. You've heard Michael on the net there in Lebanon, Tennessee, and just before you joined, we had Endav in Long Beach, California, but he had to go, so you've stepped in as a replacement Californian for us. Yeah, bonfire night. It was just as Rod described. It was more of a do-it-yourself thing in the old days. We used to buy fireworks. We had huge amounts of. They only cost like a penny for an explosive banger, and we used to throw them at each other. But where I lived, we were kind of on a new housing estate that was still being built, so we used to have a big bonfire with lots of planks and things that were lying around, and all the adults used to come to it, and we had food and that sort of thing, so it was very good. But every year, somebody had to get taken to hospital in an ambulance. That's how bad it was with fireworks going. And when you got up the next morning and walked around, the pavements everywhere were just covered rockets that had fallen back down, exploded bangers and things. There was, gone off fireworks, so it was amazing. I think the government have kind of cracked down on a lot of the sales of fireworks, and now you have to go to a organised. You hit the nail on the head, Chris, when you said why bother? Because I always think that after you've watched the fantastic, very expensive fireworks for about 2 minutes, it's just the same thing over and over again, and it gets a little bit boring. That's my take on it. So there we are. Anyway, back to you, Chris, M7CCS from GW5 for UG.
Yeah, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, and of course, yeah, we will get pronunciation for the name now, and as everyone's asked, if she's still there, and of course, yep, it's Kilo Oscar 6 GBR, and was what I got. I've looked it on QRZ because I was looking for the name myself, but I can't actually find it. KO6 GBR, so I'll put that in again, and oh, I found it, mate. It's come up. So it's Lay. So it's Lima Echo India. Over to you there, Lay. From Mike 7, Charlie Sierra. Okay, there was nothing heard there, but of course, yeah, finally did get it on QRZ, and of course, yeah, the spelling is Lima Echo India, so that's all good. So what we're going to do is 2100 hours, so we're going to go round the list, and we will try for Monty, but he has missed twice now, but we're going to do the 7-3 round. As I'm watching an ambulance on the door come with blue lights on, pull out of a junction, unfortunately. So we're going to go round to 2W1 TER for your 7-3. Okay, nothing heard. So what we're going to do is we'll give Monty an honorary 7-3 because he's never there at the end, it seems. So yeah, Monty has now got an honorary 7-3 there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go round to Michael for your last over and your 7-3.
Thank you, Chris. This is Whiskey Alpha 5, Romeo and Papa. I just had a visual of Monty sitting in his shack, dozed off asleep. I wonder if that isn't what happens by the time he gets around to the end of the net. He's kind of tired and he kind of dozes off. I don't know, but it just had to give me a chuckle for a second. Hope everybody has a great week. It's been a great net today. I've really enjoyed it, and I learned a little something about the history of London fireworks on November 5th, and like I said, we'll have our own fireworks on November 5th, I'm sure, as we have our presidential election. We'll see how that goes, and everybody take care of themselves this next week. Hopefully coming back next week without any broken bones or any illnesses. So take care of yourself. Happy trick-or-treating on Halloween, and take care, and I'll see you, hopefully, if I remember the time change, next Saturday. Whiskey Alpha 5 now.
Yeah, 7-3 there, Michael, and you forgot Christmas. Hi, it's already in the supermarkets. So we're going to Rod G0 EUZ for your 7-3.
G0. You said back to the group, yeah. Well, we have a good system here in Cambridge for trick or treat. If you don't want anybody to knock on your door or anything, you just don't decorate your house. So only houses that have got maybe a pumpkin outside or some kind of decoration get the doorbells rung, and the rest of us can sit in peace. Now, what we used to do, we used to go around to my daughters, and we'd do their doorbell and sweets while they were out with the children. But of course, their children, well, the youngest is 11 now, so he'll probably go out, but the rest of the other two don't. So that's it. So 7-3, everybody. I hope you all have a good week, and yeah, we'll catch you all next week. Hopefully. M7CCS G0EUZ. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, 7-3 to you there, Rob, and thanks very much. And I'm sure, yeah, we'll speak to you again. Of course, yeah, we've got CHESHIRE Net on Monday and Wednesday from 14, yeah, 14, is it 14? No, it's not, 16:30. Our time. So, of course, yeah, we'll be going on to UTC time. My hand clock will be right. After tomorrow, hi. But, yeah, we log contacts in UTC, don't we? So, we'll go round to GW5, G, Steve, round to you there, and, yeah, it's not updated in our one, and I'm yet to see it through yet, because you're going to have to connect up to XLX042D for us to see it coming through on the live stream. So, yeah, bid you 7-3, and we'll put it over to you, GW5, VOG, for your last over, and 7-3.
GW5, VOG returning, thank you, Chris. Yeah, I must get round to sorting. I've got the broken hotspot. I've got another hotspot I've got to put together. This Zoom spot that I'm using now is it's weird because when I go on the program that I go through, which is WD.R.G, it has Brandmeister information on it. The Brandmeister information's disappeared, and you can't put it in when you click to say what Brandmeister country your main thing is. There's nothing there. Now, I just bought a new computer, a refurbished laptop, and when I put WD.R.G on that, it was all there. So I don't quite understand that. I've tried updating this one and everything, and it doesn't make any difference. Anyway, there we are. Yeah, so thank you for running the net tonight. I'm not quite sure what you were saying about the net tomorrow night. Whose net is that? Perhaps you could tell me before you go. So, yeah, 7-3 to everybody, and hope everyone has a good time with their extra hour in bed. M7CCS from GW5 VOG, 73 to everyone, and back to you.
Okay, Mike 7, Charlie Sierra, as you can all see on the live stream, of course, yeah. That system, yeah, you timed it out, because that system seems to, I've gone clunky. But everything seems to have gone clunky. The WiresX actually disconnected on your over there, Steve. Yeah, I think you timed me out, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's all good. At least I had another radio to pick up and come across it into the network. But the 200, yeah, it's done pretty well all the way through the net. But then, yeah, Big Bertha wanted to go, didn't it? In the net tonight, we did have, I've got it actually up on the screen. So we had 2W1TER, we had WA5RIP, we had G0EUZ, we had GW5VOG Steve, we had M6DQB, listening, we had N6UTC, we had Kilo Oscar 6 Golf Bravo Romeo, I nearly forgot the Daryl, MW0TTF, he told me to put him on the end, he's now just on the end now, and Mrs. Daryl, we're listening, of course, yep, I've been Mike 7 Charlie Sierra, I've got to look where I'm going, so it's going to the end screen, I've got the end screen on, and of course, you can join us tomorrow night at half an hour later than the Ragchew for Kevsnet, for GB3WW and W.D.R.G on a Sunday night there. Of course, the repeater is experiencing a few issues, but it will be back online properly again. And of course, he can get into our system, so he can do the net here. So 7-3-all, catch you later down the log, and of course, if you're watching on YouTube, give us a subscribe, not for any monetary, but so that you know when the next Ragchew is. 7-3 for now.